Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we're actually getting into the unboxing of this. This is actually a board game. This is actually Monopoly Junior. It's something that I purchased for my boys for the holiday season. And though I think that we are going to play it before the time of Christmas, but definitely something that I think is great if you're trying to get your kids into fun board games. And I've reviewed a couple board games on this channel before. I really think that, especially for young kids, if you can get them into board games, especially in this era where everything is just video games, I think that that's a really good thing. And of course, this is way harder for me to get into than it should be. Now, this is, links in the description down below. This is a Amazon exclusive, simply because I think it comes with like an additional piece that is normally not in your standard ones. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, what it comes with is, let's see, the top hat. I think the top hat is exclusive to this version of Monopoly Junior. And other than that, that's really about it. So I am going to get into, like I said, opening this up because we're going to most likely play this before that time. And kids, unlike with toys, they don't really care about the wrapping of a board game. So it's fine for us to get into this here just to show you guys what's in it. Or obviously, standard Monopoly is standard Monopoly. I've actually never played the junior version before. So this will run you, I think I want to say it might be $15, and I think it got on sale for about $10 for the holiday season. So you can take a look at this and pause it for yourself if you need to. Learn to earn the fun way, count money, collect cash, and win 4 junior tokens. Your favorite tokens before they grew up. It says the layout here. They're pretty much just using the dollar bill on this one in its entirety. So it just makes math easier for the kids because nothing is going to be, outside of that realm of that price range for things like, a couple of dollars or somewhere between probably $1 and $5. So yes. What does that say there? Top hat. How do you do? Pop me on and I'll help you get ahead. So that, like I said, is the exclusive piece. We'll get into the board in a moment. So here goes the money. And like I said, it's just ones, which is a great concept because it just makes it really easy. Chance, free space, advanced brown or yellow space. If one is available, get it free. Otherwise, pay rent. So that's going to reflect on the onto the spaces. So it's essentially hopping you to one of these spaces. It says yellow or brown, so yellow and then brown. Let's get this facing the traditional way. So this is go over here. Let's take a look at what's in here. I'm actually going to keep everything else boxed up the same, you guys. So sorry about that. I'm not going to go through all the cards. I'm going to keep these things together. But we all know that that's going to be part of the fun anyway of you guys seeing what these things are when you go through the game. It'll make it easier for me to keep it boxed up when the kids kind of want to, when we get into it for the first time. So here you can see these tokens. I'm not really too sure how these tokens work. Maybe they're a way of saying like you are the owner. So let's check it out and see. I'm thinking that might be the case. Here you could see what comes in here. So there goes the hat, the car. Everyone always used to love the car, the dog. And these are just so much more enhanced for kids. So that's great. The cat, I don't ever remember there being a cat. I remember the dog. And then you have one dice there, which is fitting because I believe the board is definitely smaller because you don't have 3 properties. There's only 2. All of them are just 2. So you have this here, which holds a lot of those things underneath. I'm just going to end up tossing all those things underneath it. Let's take a little quick glance at the booklet here. So taking a quick glance at the object here, it says zoom around the board, buy property, pick up chance cards, and earn money. When one player goes bankrupt, the others count their cash and the player with the most cash wins. So this way kind of makes it where no one's sitting on the sidelines. Once one player is out, the game ends, which is good for little kids because, you know, they're not going to want to kind of sit there and wait for the rest of the players to go through their stuff. Let's see, find 12 signs that match your token and keep them in front of you. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the detailed instructions on this at the moment, but you can pause it and read for yourself as far as what all this is. Okay, matter of fact, I am just going to breeze through it real quick. So first time you play, press the 48 sold signs from the die cut sheet. Okay, meaning pull them out, those tokens. Remove 90 banknotes and chance cards from their plastic. Please dispose of the waste responsibly, yada, yada. Open the game board and put it in the center of play. Separate the 4 token character cards from the chance cards. Okay, so it's character cards. That's what you see right there. Shuffle the deck of chance cards and place it face down on the chance space on the board, just like the original. Choose a token and place yours on go. And it says find 12 sold signs that match your chosen token and keep them in front of you. I'm not really too sure. Sold signs, I guess that these are the sold sign tokens maybe. And then you put them, I'm not really too sure. So like I said, I'm just breezing through this right now, you guys. Pick one player to be the banker. As always, banker is in charge of the money and hands out the cash like this. And it says you're getting 2 play. Okay, for 2 player. Sorry, I didn't realize if this was in screen or not. 2 player, 3 player, and 4 player. So 2 players get 20, 3 18, and 4 players 16. So it's simple as that. Play how to win. Have the most money when any other player goes bankrupt, as I mentioned in the beginning. Who goes first? The youngest player goes first. You continue left. On your turn, roll the dice and move your token that number of spaces clockwise from go. Always move forward, never backwards. Every time you pass or land on go, space, collect 2. I don't know, when they use that M, is that supposed to represent like just money or a million or I don't know, but 2. So we're just gonna call it $2. Collect 2. Where did you land? Read about all the different board spaces before you start. If you land on, and obviously unknown space and own space, there you go. So now it verifies you got the little token there. So it lets you know that means a player owns that. So it's just a way for kids to kind of know that it's owned. Instead of having property inside this game, I think it's just simply that you have, you put the token on it and that lets you know you own it. So it's an easier way for the kids to understand it than having the property things. A pair equals double rent, what it says at the bottom. Player the color. Rent is double the amount written on the space. So rent is, so I guess the buy price and the rent is also what you see at the bottom of that space, making it a little bit easier. More board spaces. There's go, obviously, when you pass go. Collect the money is the chance to go to jail, just visiting, and free parking. Do nothing, just take a break. So there you go. Advance. Once you've mastered the standard rules, try the following ways to play. If you don't have enough money to pay rent or a chance card fee, complete the debt with property you own. Okay. That's kind of a way of like doing the mortgaging process like in the original system. If you owe another player, your property becomes theirs. If you owe the bank, your property goes back on the market. If you still can't pay, then you are bankrupt and the game ends. Every player counts their cash and see who wins. So there you go. And just doing like a quick little kind of, I'll spin the board so we have more in frame as we go through. Obviously you have go, you have the burger joint, the pizza house, candy store, ice cream parlor, which are nice fun names to kind of get kids into it. We got the museum, the library, we got skate park, swimming pool, and everything on the same side is all the same price. So those are the ones, these are the 2s and 3s and 4s. Video game arcade, movie theater, toy store, pet store, bowling alley, the zoo, park place, which is funny because park place, but it's a park is what it's representing. And boardwalk is the boardwalk and the beach. So those get to stay the same. And then in the background, you may not be able to see it that well, but like in the background imaging that's not colored, you see stuff in the background. So that's nice. And obviously the main board over here, as far as the, you know, the colors and the decal and all that other kind of stuff. So anyway, you guys, I hope that this was helpful. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, there we go, everybody. I originally wasn't going to do like a more detailed breakdown of this, but I happened to have a chance to play the game before I ended up posting the original video that I recorded. So I figured, let me just tack this into the same video rather than do a separate video after the fact of the time I got to play it, because I didn't know I was going to be able to play it, but I played it shortly after the time I recorded that first part of this video, because I'm going to attach that at the beginning. This is going to be attached to that same video. So I just wanted to go over a few things as far as the play experience. So these were actually are for the property, and I'm going to kind of run through everything with you guys now that I've opened everything up. But I do want to just say that I played this game with my boys, and they had a blast. They really loved it, and this game is very user-friendly for kids of the age range that it says. It says 5 and up. My two boys are 7. This is really, I've played Trouble with them before, but for this type of level of game, which would be like considered a more advanced game, it really streamlines the rules of Monopoly to the point where it really makes it fun, because it's a lot easier to just get, to learn. So holding stuff wise, I would say get yourself a little plastic bag just to kind of throw some things in. It's not, this whole cover piece that you just saw me take off of it does help to contain it. But it's not like there's little slots for you to hold things for, like, you know, what you would have in the original for like the bank. But I'm going to put all this stuff to the side for a second. And essentially, when you run through the game, you have your pieces. You're going to start over here at go. Now, the money that you guys start with is, I want to say that it's based on the players, but I want to say off the top of my head, I think that it's, let's see, there's only 2 pages on the instruction booklet. So that tells you right here, it's just very simplified and it's great. If you have 2 players, it's 20. If you have 3 players, it's 18. If you have 4 players, it's 16. I'm just going to say dollars. The M might mean million or something like that. I'm just going to say dollars because they're all in ones. So, but what I did to kind of make it work a little better is I started us originally out with just $10 for the first game, because it just makes it go a little bit faster, and you could just give the amount that you want. Now, generally speaking, the way it works is that the first time I played it, there were some rules that I didn't realize. And then the second time going around it, I realized certain things that could and couldn't be done. So one thing is you don't have an option to not buy, but generally speaking, you don't auction either, because if you have the correct amount of money per player, you should be able to buy everything on the time that you go around. And if you can't buy something, unknown says pay the bank the price written on the space, put one of your sold signs on the color band. That is, the sold signs are the little tokens, as I had predicted originally before I had a chance to actually play the game. The top of the space, so everyone knows it's you. So it doesn't say, hold on, let's see. So this is where the rules are a little bit loose, but generally speaking, if you, if it's an unowned space and obviously you have the money to pay for it, you just got to buy it. You must buy it. But if you don't have the money, then you just can't buy it if no one owns it, and that's what it is. But you don't auction it off like you would in the normal Monopoly. Now, another thing that I forgot in the middle of play, but the second time around I played it again with one of my sons, because the other one didn't want to play at the time, and we played just one-on-one. And I remembered it was that if you have 2 colors at the same time, that's a Monopoly, and they'll double the price. First time going around, like I said, playing it the first time, I didn't realize that. Reading through the instructions really quick, because I was also trying to run the entire game for my boys, so they kind of got used to it. And once they got used to it, they understood pretty much what they're doing. So there are no property cards. Essentially, what you see is what you get. So, for example, right here, you see, let me angle this a little bit differently. From here, you see, like, say the Pizza House, it's $1, right? That's going to be the price you pay to get it. That's going to be the price you pay for rent. If you own both of them, that's now doubled to 2. And that's essentially it. When you pass go, you get $2. Like I said, I'm going to refer it as dollars here just for easy simplification. Now, when you pick who you have, you also get their character card, and you put it next to you. This just allows, really, like, as an adult, you don't need to pull these out. So I didn't grab one for me, but one of my sons, he wanted to to use it. But what also makes it kind of good too is that one of my sons wanted to be outside of the box, wanted to use just some random other token-like thing that was not included for the game. So then I told him that the hat was going to represent him. So then I put the hat token next to him to represent him because he wasn't using one of the tokens that he had here. But that's one of the options you get. So here it also, you can read what it says on here for each one. That's the hat. That is the car, the dog, and the cat. And going through the chance cards, I originally wasn't going to reveal them. And I won't reveal all of them here because I don't want to spoil some surprises for you guys and stuff like that. But what you end up having on here, it works very, very like seamless and nice, but it gives some dimension to things because you have some cards that will say, after you draw this, says, give this card to Little Hazel and take another chance card. So this would now go to Hazel after you do this. And then for Hazel, it's like a kind of keeper card or something similar to Get Out of Jail where they keep it. It says, Little Hazel, on your next turn, tiptoe forward to any free space and buy it. If all are owned, buy one space from any player. So there's a couple of these cards that benefit the type that you are, the character that you are. And then you have a couple of these other types too that will say free space, advance to light blue or red. If one is available, get it free. Otherwise, pay rent to the owner. So in this situation here, the way I interpret it, you have the choice. It's not necessarily the one okay, so the way I viewed it was this: out of blue or red, I for the most part kind of played it where I went to, like if I was say here and red is coming up first, I would say like red. You really have the choice to go to either one, but I would kind of do like red first if it's option, if it's free, if it's not free and I'm gonna have to pay someone, then I'd come to the blue. But I guess you could kind of interpret it to go wherever you want. And if you pass go, we'll assume that you're gonna collect. I don't know. That's something that you could just kind of make as your home rules or not if you want to change that to where it's not like it's a teleport and it's not going past go because it doesn't specify that. But nonetheless, you can see that the rules are pretty simple. So it's not something over the top. As far as, like I said before, if you buy a property, you put the token down to represent that you own it. And obviously at that point, if someone lands on it, they know that's yours. So as far as the gameplay goes and the way everything went, it really went smooth. My kids picked it up very quick. They learned it right away. They understood the concept of the money. When they landed a property, they had to pay. When they wanted to buy some, I would just say, hey, you want to buy it? What's the price? And it was great because even though I know my kids already know how to, they know how to count, they know how all this other kind of stuff, obviously at that point, but it's nice being able to say to them, especially if your kids were maybe on the lower age of this. I would say even somebody, if they had the attention span at 4 to sit still, it says 5 and up, but if they had the attention span, it would be great for the purpose of counting numbers and this and that. I would always ask them, so what's the price of that? And, they would shout it out. It's this. I'm like, okay, cool. So you got to pay the bank. And they would count up their money and they would pay me, whatever the case is. So it very much went smooth. I really enjoyed it. And I love that my kids ended up really enjoying this game. So I definitely recommend that if you guys have some younger kids, 5 to maybe 8 or whatever the case is, I understand at a certain point you might say, oh, they could play the more advanced version. But to be honest with you, this one thing I think that this does great is it holds the attention span for the kids, because the adult version, even if your kids might get it, it might not be able to hold their attention span as much if it starts getting complicated where they're like, I got a mortgage, I got to do this, we got to auction this and all that kind of stuff. It gets heavy, where this right here is just very light. And so I think it's just fun even as they get to the older age limit of where this game would cater to. So I definitely recommend that you guys get this game for kids. Like I said, I just really wanted to kind of come back to the review on this because after having a chance to play it before, it's more so just an unboxing, going over things. But after having a chance to play it, it's really good. The rules for the jail is if you land on go to jail, Essentially what happens, you go here, you don't stay 3 turns, you only stay 1 turn. On your next turn you pay $1 and then you get out. You don't get to roll to get out because you're only using 1 dice. You don't use 2 dice here, so that's just how it is. The spaces are obviously a lot more condensed because if you get a 6 and you're on 1 corner, you're gonna lead to the next corner. So you cover the ground pretty fast. The only side that has different price marks is the expensive side, where you have $4 for the green and $5 for the blue. Otherwise, this is 1 on this side, 2, 3. And that, for the most part, is it. Like I said, it runs smooth. You just got the 1 set of money, which is just the dollars. And it really runs smooth, and we had a really good time. My kids really wanted to play it again. So we're probably gonna be playing this all throughout the holiday season because it's definitely a fun game. As always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.